Hello, Tess. This is my first ever. I guess you could say that this is my first ever recording online because I'm currently recording online. And hello for you guys who haven't heard of me before. I'm Terrence, and I am basically making content surrounding me, myself, and surrounding the things that I love. And one of them would be surrounding language learning. And so far, the language I wouldn't say that I'm already a polyglot, but I have an urge to learn languages. And so far I haven't really done anything that great. I'm currently learning Arabic, but the Arabic that I'm learning is more of the Quranic Arabic, which is uh, which is used 1,400 years ago. Many countries around the world, many Arabic countries around the world, don't use it again, don't use it anymore. They are now using their own version of it because throughout all of those 1,400 years, it has been developed by each areas, and now they own have their own. Each areas have their own take on the language, and many of the references, many of the culture developed, and in the end, they also contribute to the language too. So anyway, today I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm going to talk more about um, how I'm feeling right now about learning languages. I think learning languages is fun. By the way, I'm recording this. I'm also working on something else. So yeah, by the way, it's fun. Learning languages is fun. Though I would say that learning languages, if not done correctly, can be really, really hard because we gotta be patient. What I realized so far, I guess in the past few days, is that learning languages has to be you can say that has to be fun, because if it's not fun then it's going to be boring, and if it's boring you're going to stop. So that's not what I'm trying to get, right? I'm not going to stop. I'm trying to learn as many languages as I can, and at the same time also, you see, try to make living out of this, out of learning languages. I know how. I'm considering, like making contents. That's the reason why I'm making contents now. And I'm doing that. I'm considering of making contents, and hopefully I can, make an income out of this, make something out of this, and hopefully I can make something out of the things that are related to language learning in itself. Probably, maybe, the plans that I have is probably making a business out of teaching people how to learn languages. It's possible. Or making a business out of um, selling stuff that people would need in learning languages, because usually people would need books, or they would also need notebook, so many things. But so far, currently, because I'm still in college, and that's why I'm trying to focus more on my college first, but while at the same time still trying to focus on learning languages. So I'm more into learning language and trying to make a presence online. But it's currently something that I've just realized recently would be like how hard it is to keep your motivation in learning languages, especially when you're just, especially when it's not that I haven't, it's not that I didn't have fun while I was learning languages throughout. I have been learning I've been learning Arabic for 2 years, and it's not that I didn't have fun or I wasn't having fun. I was having fun, but it was more because, I guess you could say that it was more because I wasn't disciplined about it. You know, I wasn't being disciplined, and that's one of the that's one of the components of success in itself. One of the components of success would be, I think, in general, would be discipline. Would this discipline? Without discipline, you would not get anything, and that's one thing that I have to fix. And this is not the first ever talk that I have about discipline, about the importance of discipline. I'm not going to say much because I haven't done much discipline, so I don't feel like me as someone who's not disciplined have the or have can be someone who tells other people what I think about being disciplined. Being disciplined is good, in general, but and I think everybody can agree that being disciplined is something that everybody needs. But what I'm trying to say is that I want to be disciplined, but I'm not trying to dive further into what into I don't know, into telling people that they should be disciplined when I am not disciplined enough. You know, that's just the fighting inside of my head, the fight between that, between uh me wanting to be disciplined, but at the same time I haven't done that at all. But yeah, I'm trying to be there. I'm trying, although I haven't done many discipline stuff, but I'm trying to be there, trying to get that. Because in the end, being disciplined is something that everybody needs, just like what I said. And being disciplined, I don't think that being disciplined is that hard once you're already used to it. At first, I think it's going to be hard. This is only my impression. I'm not telling people why. I'm not telling people to be, I'm not telling people as in teaching them or giving them advice on how to be disciplined when I am not disciplined. So this is more I'm sharing what I think about discipline and my impression of it. It's just I think that being disciplined is hard but easy at the same time. So it's not hard, but it's not easy either. So it's pretty, yeah, in the middle, because the first step will be hard because you're trying to, by being disciplined means that you're trying to get out of your shackles, of the shackles that are holding you back, of the constraints, of those lazy actions that you would usually do. And by getting out of that means that you're trying to embrace something new, and this new thing is going to be better for you. But changing sometimes can be hard, and I've gone through it, trying to be disciplined. Changing can be hard, but it needs to be done. That's my impression. It needs to be done because, and one of the ways to do it, oh, actually, it's not one of the ways. It's actually the most important way is to take the action and just force yourself. Because in the end, we are lazy as a human being. At least from my perspective, we are lazy. It's easier to be lazy than it's easier to be disciplined. And that's why, in my opinion, we need to force ourselves. I've heard of this too from someone else, and I agree with it, because we need to force ourselves in order to move. And I just think that it's, yeah, it's just that, like it's something easy that we need to move in order to change ourselves. We need to force ourselves. It's not that forcing is bad. Sometimes you need to force something. You need to force yourself to really be accountable. And if you're not accountable, then what will you be? People will not believe you because you're not accountable. So yeah, being accountable is really important because once people doesn't believe you, it's going to be hard to get the trust back. You see? So yeah, and I think unconsciously I've been doing that, losing people's trust because of my inadequateness, because of my incapability, because I'm incapable of forcing myself and being disciplined. I think unconsciously, I'm basically building the bridge or burning the bridge between me and other people's trust. So it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty, I don't know. It's, yeah, it's an unconscious process, you know? It's an unconscious process. I'm trying to be, yeah, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to be, um, yeah, I'm trying to be trusted by people, but because of myself, that's not discipline, and especially because I'm thinking too much. I'm thinking about, oh, okay, while I'm being not disciplined, I always think that, okay, I can do better. I'm confident that I can do better, and I can do it tomorrow. That's tomorrow. That word becomes the shackle. I believe that it becomes the shackle because I unconsciously think that I gotta be perfect. And by saying tomorrow means like I'm imagining that tomorrow will be perfect without any mistake. While on the contrary, it's going to be full of mistakes because that's just how it is. You know, I think life in itself is full of mistakes, and we're not really that far from making mistakes every single day. And it's illogical, it's unrealistic to say that I'm going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow will be perfect and according to my expectation. No, it's not going to be according to my expectation. At least through no no through all of my experiences in living. I'm 21 years old now, so in living for 20 years, it hasn't been going in everybody's expectation. It has always been going sideways, going towards, I don't know, spiral shape or something. So it hasn't been. I wouldn't say it hasn't been going well. It has been going well for many people, but it's it's just not going according to their plans. And I was, and probably I still am, the kind of person who would plan a lot. And I need to stop that. Planning is just, yeah, it's just not something that I should be doing too much, because it's not going to be perfect. I'm not saying that planning is bad. I think planning itself, it's like you're trying to, planning itself is like you're trying to give yourself a direction, right? And giving yourself a direction is much better than just running around without any direction. But when you're planning out too much, you know, when you're planning out things too much, and probably it's because of the sub, probably it's because subconsciously you're trying to make everything perfect, and you're expecting that everything's going to be perfect. When you do that, when you plan things too much, you will not do anything. So far, I've been doing that. I've been planning, I've been thinking, but all of those planning don't do nothing. So I'm not saying that I shouldn't plan. I should give myself a direction, but I shouldn't focus on the plan. I should focus on taking action. So plan things out, yes, but only the necessary part. Don't go too deep into the planning, because it's not going to be, even if you plan things out so detailed, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to go according to how you would expect it to be, to how you expect it to be. It's going to go according to how it's going to go. And yeah, we're not, we're no, we're no, we're no, what do you call it? We're no, we're not with supernatural powers where we can see to the future. Nobody can. Some some people say that they can, but they don't. So yeah, it's best to, yes, go and make plans, but don't dive too much. Don't dive too much on that. Don't delve too much on that, and then try to just do it. After you plan things out to the point where you can start something, then you do it. And after that, just adjust to how the plan is going. Adjust the plan, adjust your action to how it is going, to how it's actually happening. And I guess that's it, for uh, today's podcast. Hopefully, you guys like this kind of podcast, and hopefully, I will be able to talk more about languages and learn again about languages. I can share with you my experiences in learning languages. And that's all from me. Thank you for listening. See you on our next podcast. And probably I'm going to make this in a video. So see you on our next video too. Bye bye. Ciao.